Welcome back to the Pit Stop Ranch. Today is Fleet Service Day. One thing that new people to the project car hobby often seem to not get, or maybe that's not the proper term, but don't appreciate, is if you're getting into the project car hobby, where you start to learn, do hands-on, isn't doing a frame-up rebuild. You start with maintenance. You start with oil changes and flushing radiators and brake jobs. So, that said, this pretty short video, I'm christening the pad for the shop. Om, 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 om. Oh, on this auspicious day of hoods up, we gather, brothers and sisters, in the name of octane, compression, and boost, the holy trinity of horsepower, to consecrate this holy pad, which I really hope there are no holes in this pad. Regardless, today we christen thee, consecrate thee, in the name of the gods of horsepower and torque. May I hear an amen. Om, om, om. Building isn't up, but we poured the pad a month ago, and all three of you watched the video where we did it. It's set up, it's secured up, so we can start parking vehicles on it. Building goes up next month. We have put in water, power, internet, at least run the cables thereof. So, the oil filter on that Pontiac broke my my oil filter band clamp. It's glued on there. I was getting it to move, but man, choices are fix this one or go get another one. Wow. I've never struggled to get an oil filter off before. I mean, I probably have, if you take enough of them off. But I've never, if I have had, gone through this before, it has been 30 years. Wow. No idea what happened there. Combination of over torquing and having not actually done an oil change, I guess, in way too long. When you just got the quart jugs, like, I grew up with, it's really easy just to tip them in without a funnel. But these big jugs, not so much. So what I like to do is I always get a jug and a quart bottle, because I want to put a quart, at least most of the quart, into the filter before spinning it on. Remember, when you put a filter on, it only needs to go hand tight. It doesn't need to go gorilla tight. Unless, of course, you do want to do gorilla hand tight. But that's a completely different discussion. Anyways, so what I like to do is then take the quart jug, handy dandy pocket knife that I'm sure every single one of you carries, because, you know, that's the demographic. Cut the bottom off. That, if you don't drop in the dirt, you get greasy handprints all over it. You got yourself a nice, cheap funnel for putting, you know, 4 or 5 quarts of this in. So I like to try and group multiple little projects together on days where I can put in a, you know, 4 or 5 hours or whatever it is. In the case of my 68 Pontiac here, when turning, there's a rubbing noise, another rubbing noise coming from the back end. Now, I shortened and built this Ford 9-inch for this car, and I'm wondering if maybe the way I set up the bearings might not be correct or something along those lines. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look, pull the wheel, take a look to see if there's anything obvious. Most of the time sounds just fine, works just fine. It's just there's a little bit of play going on, obviously. Okay, I found the problem. This pin is backed out. See what's going on here. This pin should go through that hole, but it's not. So we need to fix that. It should look like that, not like that. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so driver's side, same thing. This pin it hadn't gone all the way out, but it was the threads were in there quite a ways. So for some reason, these top pins on these rear discs, rear calipers, are backing out a little bit. So I need to keep an eye on that and make that part of the regular maintenance, which is, I mean, that comes with all these old cars, especially resto mods. You inevitably have stuff like that that requires regular maintenance that you might not on other vehicles. So got to keep that in mind. Check these pins frequently. The bottom pins seem to be staying tight. Bottom pins down here seem to be staying tight. It's just these top pins here, both sides, have backed out just ever so slightly. So okay, so the oil change, rotation of tires, checking out of funky noises on C10 and Pontiac are done. Next is brake job, oil change, and spark plug change on Chevy Chase. Now, Chevy Chase here, picked up about 18 months, maybe 2 years ago. When we first got it, the whole idea was, you know, an extra 3/4 ton truck would be nice. Oh, by the way, we want to harvest the drivetrain for something else, or a drag car or something. So I really had no interest or intent to sink a considerable amount of money into stuff on Chevy Chase. In that time, having the utility bed, having the contractor's rack, having another air-conditioned, running reliable 3/4 ton truck around, has proven its merit. More than I think justifies what I initially paid for it. And I think doing some more than the bare minimum to keep it functional is I think is worthwhile. So one other thing that I do need to do on this truck that I haven't yet, that I'll get to soon hopefully, is it desperately needs a new set of shocks, at least in the back, if not all 4 corners. Probably go ahead and replace all 4 corners just to get it there. And at that point there, Chevy Chase will be a good truck for another decade, even though it's got 240,000 miles on it. It does need a transmission service as well. I haven't picked up the stuff to do that yet. I should. I really need to. Come here. So, there you go. Submit pad for the shop has been christened. It has been sanctified. It has been baptized. Managed to do 2 brake jobs, 3 oil changes, a bunch of other stuff. It is much nicer. Oh, a transmission service. It was much nicer being able to roll around on this pad than anything else I've been able to use to do that sort of work around here for the last 22 years I've owned my house. Next step for this pad is going to get a building on it. Yay! So not only will I have something considerably nicer to roll around on, it'll be in the shade. Anyways, a little bit of a silly video with a little bit of a boring background setting or work. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did so, please hit the like button. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe, and have a fleet-tastic day.